Now, it's been 7 months since the show embarked on 50,000 boxes of sanitary towels for the girl child. Aspen Pharma have been with us on this journey and donated close to 1 million rand towards this initiative. Now, as we close off the campaign, and you've heard from the beneficiaries as well, let's now speak to Stavros Nicolaou, Aspen Pharma Group Senior Executive. Stavros, thank you so much for your time. Always a pleasure. We're closing the campaign. How has it been to be part of it?
Firstly, it's been the greatest of privilege and an absolute delight to have been involved. And the delight is not only because of how we are assisting these young ladies, but also its broader manifestations on society. We were equally delighted to have shared the good news with SABC. You know, we always need these good news stories in our country. So we were absolutely delighted again when SABC was nominated for the MyPad Award at no lesser a venue than the United Nations General Assembly in New York a couple of weeks back. So all around, this is one of those legacy projects that we can all be immensely proud of, and you can only be immensely proud of anything if you're helping society. And we have certainly together enjoyed working with SABC and walking the journey. And I should add that we will continue walking the journey with you, because this is not the end of the road or the end of the journey, right? We are committing to continuing with this program and providing, young girls and young ladies the dignity that they deserve through these trying times, particularly these economically trying times. So you have our commitment for the future as well.
And do appreciate that, Stavros. When we were in conversation with Principal Rensburg in Gqeberha, he was talking about how for him, it's also changed his perspective as a man to also be conscious of, what his learners are going through, particularly the girl learners during a period of menstruation and the difficulties that they sometimes face. For you, how would you say this has changed your thinking, your view, and your contribution towards this project going forward?
We've been involved for some years now as Aspen on period poverty and the campaigns there too. Never at this scale and never with this intensity that the SABC partnership has provided. But however, you learn every day, and I think the most important learning here for me has been that we talk quite blandly and often glibly about period poverty, but what does it actually mean? It means that there are young ladies that cannot afford to buy sanitary towels, and consequently up to as many as 30% of them shy away from the workplace and or school. This only perpetuates and exacerbates the problem of gender inequality in our country. It only worsens the economic challenges that communities face. And there is an element of GBV here as well. So all of those elements are new elements that I've certainly become aware of in recent weeks.
And let's talk about gender-based violence, because you are also very involved there, adopting safe houses. And this is a critical issue because a lot of the times, the economic impact of, providing safe houses, providing shelters for women who experience gender-based violence is also something that is critical. Let's talk about your involvement there.
So look, I think one of the best ways of confronting GBV, and I needn't remind anyone on this program that we have unacceptably high levels of GBV in our country, regrettably. And one of the best ways to confront it is, of course, to educate the male population of our country. But there's another element. If you restore dignity to, in particular, young ladies, and they feel wanted by society, they feel that they belong to society, they feel that they can contribute to society, all of those elements in themselves allow them to better confront GBV. So GBV is multidimensional. It's a very significant problem we have in our country, and we've got to confront it from many, many angles. And certainly this period poverty, which restores dignity to young women, improves confidence in confronting GBV is a very important project that we will also continue with into the future.
And is corporate doing enough to assist government in this regard? And I ask you because, I remember during the Gender Summit, for example, there were some activists who were saying they could do more with the assistance of corporate like yourselves, because here you are joining in, you're partnering, and there is now a call to other corporates, to be able to get involved, companies to get involved in sponsorship. So is that sector doing enough?
Now, I'm a firm believer that the corporate sector is one of the most important sectors in addressing the multitude of challenges that exist in our country. We often are critical of public-private partnerships, but there are many that have worked. And I think corporate South Africa has been a generous contributor to many of these projects. Can we do more? Of course, we can be doing more. And I suspect one of the most important things to look at in the new year is how do we better coordinate and cohere some of these activities. We've done that as a healthcare sector previously through something called the Public Health Enhancement Fund. And I think we've got to look at a type of model futuristically where you get the pooling of resources. When you pool resources, naturally you're going to get better efficiencies. You're going to be able to procure sanitary ware a lot more cost efficiently and the likes thereof. So I think corporate South Africa is generous but can do more. I hope other companies and other corporates follow the lead. And of course, we need SABC again fully engaged to drive what is a very balanced and very important narrative that you have driven over the past few months, the past 7 months, in fact.
And quite important in the upliftment of women. Thank you so much for your time, Stavros. And thank you for being part of this initiative. We were so ambitious when we started, and we didn't know that it's actually going to get us to get so involved in it. Do appreciate, you getting involved.
It's been an absolute privilege for us. And I really want to congratulate the SABC team led by Megan Lapka and all the other colleagues. I think it was a well-deserved award and a very worthwhile project that we need to continue supporting. So thanks for having me on the program.
Thank you so much, Stavros. Thank you. Do appreciate it. That is Stavros Nicolaou, Aspen Pharma Group Senior Executive.